Hey guys, I finally had some time to sit down and play a few of the new heroes. Today we'll be going over the new Neon Cyberpunk Ninjas subclass called Harvester. She's probably one of the hardest hitting ninjas so far, but there's a couple requirements that need to be acknowledged and maintained in order to do so. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to be looking at that ninja, the new Cyberpunk Neon Harvester Sarah. The subclass is called Harvester. We've got lots of Sarahs. Kind of upset that there's so many Sarahs still. The backpack, by the way, is probably the coolest backpack. Coolest backpack. The neon pink is fabulous as well. Very, very fab. Okay. Let's get into the perks really quick. There's some interesting things about this ninja. She hits really hard. She's basically the Scythe ninja for those of you that were curious that don't already know. But just like all ninjas, the first perk is Shinobi. Reduces fall damage taken by 10%. Increases run speed and sprint speed by 10%. She gets Smoke Bomb. Creates a cloud for 6 seconds. It slows and snares enemies also by 30%. It also deals a crap ton of damage. But remember that for 6 seconds, it also slows your targets. That's super important. Okay, Mantis Sleep. All ninjas get Mantis Sleep. It's been nerfed down to 20 energy instead of 50 in a previous update. 5 Winds Cut increases damage. This is just a flat damage increase. No prereqs, no stacking. Just straight 24% damage to swords, axes, and scythes. Scythe to meet you at level 8. Scythe Attack. Well, geez, I can't speak. Scythe Attacks apply a 30% snare for 1 second. This is an issue. This is good. This is good, but it's also an issue. It's for 1 second. You hit a target with your scythe. They are now snared for 1 second. Snared for 1 second. Remember that too. Smoke Bomb slows and snares. Your scythes snare. Throwing stars. Okay, cool. You get throwing stars. They don't break anomalies. We're not going to use throwing stars anymore. Shadow Stance. After defeating an enemy with edged damage. So with your scythe. Because it's a scythe ninja. You enter Shadow Stance for 4 seconds. During Shadow Stance, damage resistance is increased. So you become a little more tanky. Your Mantis Sleeps are reduced. So you're down to like 8 energy to Mantis Sleep while you're in Shadow Stance. Also, Dim Mac is active. I'll actually read what Dim Mac does down below. Smoke Bomb also, once you hit level 15, you unlock Medicinal Fumes, where you heal when you're inside of your Smoke Bomb. And I'll show that off in game in a second. Anatomy, also your teammates get healed as well. Anatomy Lessons increases sword, axe, and scythe crit hit chance. So now all of your swords, axes, and scythes, but you're going to be using scythes with this hero, you have an automatic 20% crit chance, which is good. She also gets Dragon Slash, which is also edged weapon. So if you kill stuff with Dragon Slash, you pop your Shadow Stance. Late Arrival. Scythes, this is where the slow and snare comes in. Scythes deal 48% increased damage to slowed and snared targets. So after you hit your target, they are snared. So in theory, after you hit your target once, you're going to be getting 48%, 48%, 48%, 48%. Now, remember, it's for 1 second. Most scythes swing and attack slower than 1 second. So it never procs. Only the new laser scythe swings fast enough to keep the 48% active. We'll go over it, I'll show you in a second. But Dim Mac. Dim Mac is the level 30, the final perk. Shadow Stance continually recharges the ninja's shields at 20%, its usual rate. Now, if you guys remember Thunderstrike from the last event, Thunderstrike had an ability that when it lost its shield, it would recharge again and then break and recharge and break and and it had the AoE stun. You can apply that to this ninja because she has the same perks. So when her shield pops, her shield will instantly start recharging. And if you're standing in bees or piss, it'll pop, and I'll show you that too. Now, one more thing. Let's look at the bonuses. She basically has the same support bonus as Deadly Blade, where you can, at level 3 star, increase your sword, axe, or scythe crit chance by 20% to anybody. Scythes. Okay? So if you have, let's just say the lowest one, the hockey stick, right? We'll inspect it. Has an attack speed of 0.82. It's slower than 1 second. So if you hit a target with this scythe, they will be snared for 1 second. When you come back around on your second swing, that 1 second is already over. You're not getting your 48% damage. Let's look at the legendary Elegant Scythe. Same thing. Attack speed is 0.82. It's slower. than 1 second. So you can never get your 48% with any of these scythes. Let's go look at the laser scythes. Oh, same thing. 0.82. So these guys, you cannot. Now, if you pop your smoke bomb, they are slowed and snared for 6 seconds. So therefore, if they're inside your smoke bomb, you can get your 48 per swing with these scythes. Also, wooden floor spikes, the slow field, freeze floor traps, and if you have anybody on your group that has damage causes snare, then while they're snared and slowed from any of those enforcers, teddy bear snares, you can do lots of things to team-wise to snare targets where you can proc your 48%. But I think they weren't planning ahead when they created the 1 second snare from a Scythe Attack, because all the scythes in the game cannot benefit from that design. It's in my opinion, it's a flaw. It's a mistake. They need to fix it, make it at least a 2 second snare, if not a 3. So all scythes are then viable. Now the new scythes swing just over 1 second, or just so 1.25 is faster than 1 second. 0.5 is half a second, or twice. It's reverse. It's reverse. 1.12 is faster than a second. So this neon scythe will maintain 100% uptime on the 48% extra damage. Might be losing you guys. Now, I did something, and I can show it off in a second, with my scythe, which kind of screwed me over a little bit. I shadow sharded my neon scythe, right? And when you shadow shard something, the attack speed becomes slower. Let me show you this. So its attack speed went from 1.21, 1.12, 1 point something to 1.01. So it is literally a 10th or 100th of a second faster than 1 second. So depending on where they are on my swing, I could proc the 58 or 48%, or I might miss it and whiff it. So again, the 1 second snare on the ninja needs to, in my opinion, needs to be at least a 2 second, so all scythes are viable. People, well, you could obsidian it. Why would you obsidian it? I'm still doing more DPS overall without the 48 that it's shadow sharded. But anyways, I'm going to be running a deadly blade for higher crit chance. And then I'm going to be running Thunder Strike for the Dragon Days, which is what I explained, that when your shield pops, it starts to instantly recharge and pops again. You get your AoE, damage, blast, stun that I'll show off. Alright, here we are with the ninja. In-game. These are level 76s? 76s. Alright, I'm 3-star 30, so it's all relevant. And then, Dragon Slash. It'll cost 50, and it puts it on a 10 or 11 second cooldown. Just a bare bones basic Dragon Slash, nothing fancy about it. Shurikens, just bare bones shuriken. She doesn't have any buffs to the shurikens. They cost 30, and they're on a 6 second cooldown. Smoke Bomb is buffed. It just really actually does additional healing.
Where to go?
But it costs 40, and it's on a minute cooldown.
Wish I could.
Alright, so I should hit for a number and then hit for 48% more. So 91. Alright, stand by. Oh, that was a crit. That was a crit! It was a crit. Man, my crit chance is too high up. Okay, let's try this again. We're going to try to get a solid number. And then show the 48% increase. 61. $61.93. So it goes to 93. 61 to 93. This guy has over 100% crit chance on it. 1529. It's more than 1520. Oh, so 15 to 20, not 29. Let's do the smoke bomb test. So we know this guy's gonna hit for 15 and then 20. So this should be 20 right off the bat. 20, boom. 20, 20, 20, 20. See, AoE stun. Shields recharging. Oh, I gotta be in Shadow Stance though for it. We'll find a better example of how intense the AoE stun can work with this perk build. Ah, bees and pissers. What a good scenario to show it off. Here we go. Here we go. Gotta kill one of the bees. There we go. Boom. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. It's all AoE stuns. It's ridiculous. It's obnoxious, man. You can't see, though. It's obnoxious, but you can stun everything around you. It's pretty cool. But you have to have Shadow Stance active, and your shield has to be breaking while Shadow Stance. So you have to be actively fighting in a cluster, and everything around you will be dying or being stunned over and over again. Medicinal fumes. I'll show that here. Let's go ahead and kill these guys. Okay, so I'm at 70k. Smoke bomb. 74, 77, 80, 84, 86. It's mediocre. It's mediocre. It's not bad. So, in order to get the maximum damage from the ninja, you can Shadow Shard it, but then you risk missing some of your 48%, depending on where you swing and hit the husk, because it swings literally at a 1 second. So if you open up swinging from the right, and you hit a husk on your right-hand side, the scythe still has to travel and then come back from the left or the right. Guaranteed, you're not going to get your 48 in that scenario. So you got to be careful how you're swinging and where you're hitting the husks if you Shadow Shard. Unless they fix it and make it a 2-second snare. Then every scythe in the game will work. Okay, so coming back here to squad bonuses. Another way to get the snare up and also to do a shit ton of damage. Corrosion. So let me unslot her. So let's say if I had high crit chance weapons already, I would run Brawler Luna for crit damage. What is that? It's 70% extra crit damage. And then I would run, I typically don't run the AoE stun. I run Deadly Blade in my tactical for her corrosion ability. And her corrosion is basically like affliction, right? What does it say? Critical hits from melee weapons deal 15% of hit damage every second for 3 seconds, while reducing movement speed by 30% for those 3 seconds. So if you have crit already, high crit, you can run corrosion to get extra big damage, because unlike affliction, where affliction is based on tech, this is based on your crit damage. So the higher, the heavier, the harder you hit, the more your corrosion ticks are going to be. Affliction is based on tech, and man, you might be getting 1,400, 2,000 damage a tick. These you can get sometimes 10k. It's gross. It's gross. Anyways, so when you crit, if you have corrosion equipped, they are snared for 3 seconds. So that's another way to keep a snare up. As long as you're critting, they're snared. You're doing extra damage. With the extra damage, you're critting. You're causing more corrosion. It just stacks, man. It stacks. So this is probably my favorite ideal loadout. Ideally, I need to get a scythe that has higher crit chance so I could run this, or I need to get another harvester or another deadly blade leveled up so I can put a second crit chance support spot in here, because I only have, she offers crit chance, she offers crit chance, deadly blade, harvester. I don't have a third to put into here. So the grind. The grind. All right, hopefully that helped out a little, especially when it comes to the decision of what scythe to use or what path to evolve it when you decide to pick Obsidian or Shadow Shard. I will always Shadow Shard my stuff, but maybe you want the guaranteed 48% and value Obsidian more because of it. So it's really up to you. I played around with this ninja quite a bit on stream. We tested different loadouts, different weapons, and I'll be doing the same thing with the other heroes very soon, especially when they fix the soldier. So if you're bored in the late evenings, early AMs, we're live around 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time pretty much every day over at twitch.tv/SlyGumbi. So feel free to swing by, pitch ideas, watch, ask questions, point fingers, laugh, anything. Doesn't matter. It's all welcomed. And with that, I'm out. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.